Okay, where I was when I started streaming is that I want to print the macro invocation locations, so that at least the macro name then. If it is a function like macro, probably can't immediately get the part between the parentheses. We'll just take the macro in name itself. So I have a location. You have to get the expansion location. Then we are in the file, and then from that location I want to get at least the offset in the file. I think I should get offset anyway. And then I also want to get a pointer to the little characters, so I can just print it for debugging purposes. So I need grab sources, source manager. I think it is a source manager. That will allow us to do that, if anything. I just open something that has a source manager defined. And I should be able to jump to it. Yeah, basic source manager.h, and that should be it. Now, what does this thing allow us to get? This is private. File infos, no. Overridden file info. Content cache, information about various memory buffers that we have read in. Yeah, I would say it is content, right? So we need a pointer inside one of these things. Let me see what the type is. The actual buffer containing the characters from the input file. This is what we need. I want to have a pointer that points to, well, yeah, the characters from the input file. And I guess I don't even have to look at this. First, we'll need to get the content cache then that contains that buffer. So that would be stored in here. Let's see if there are more content cache thingies. Hopefully not, probably not. Of course there is. Last line, no content cache. Or last line number content cache. You'll never know with these abbreviation people. And more. Seriously. Get content cache. Get buffer or none. Source location. Ah, I love this function. You already found it, I hope. Return the buffer of the specified file ID. Oh, that's for the whole file ID. Okay, nevertheless, we're going to need that then. But you can specify a source location. How is log being used here? It's being passed to get buffer or none. Which is then called again here also. Return the buffer of the specified file ID. Returns the file entry reference for the provided file ID. Well, I suppose that if I have an offset that that will work. I mean, it's just going to be the offset then relative to the beginning of this buffer. But yeah. Content cache allocator. Iterators over file infos. Yeah. Get fake content cache for recovery. It gets more and more complex. Create file ID implementation. Content cache. Create or create. No, it should already exist. Create memory. I don't want to create anything. And then we get a definition of the whole thing. Or did we jump to the top? We jump to the top. So this is first defined. Assert the content cache objects. Assert that the content cache object will always be 8-byte aligned. Are they going to measure the last 3 bits of the pointers? Information about a file ID, basically just a logical file. Holy heck. I'm reading this. Ugh. What the hell is this? File info. I don't know. If it was my code, everything would be just in one place. But there were heaps and heaps of content cache stuff. I think I'm gonna guess that at some point the content cache that we need is going to be in this dense map. And oh boy, that's called file infos. Why? I thought the structure class above was called file infos. I think this was the one. Information about various member buffers that we have read in. Yeah, okay, so it's a guess, right? It's a gamble as usual. I think this is the one. So next we switch to finding the memory buffer infos. And there's only one of that. Nobody gives access to it. That didn't help. In that case, we switch to the other side, as in I'm going to look at the public API. Already saw something that seemed interesting. We have a source manager that gives access to a file manager. Nah. Well, maybe actually. I mean, if you just get the buffer of a certain file, I suppose that might be the way to do it. Returns a boolean, a module build stack, whatever that is. Get main file ID, set main file ID is main file. Create, more creates, get or creates. Source location, now we have a source location. Get memory buffer for file or none. ID the memory buffer associated with a given file. Maybe. That would mean I can only get the whole file, and then I need a file entry reference. Returns a fake buffer. Nah. Yo, if there isn't a real one. Why would you want that? Override file contents. Alright. Bypass. Feels so kludgy, like they had it working, but then something crashes or doesn't work. And then someone comes up with a minimal patch, as in a workaround. Set file is transient. Set all files are transient. Turn the buffer with a specified file ID. Didn't we already have that? But there was a something reference. This is the file ID. Yeah, I like this one most. And then you get the exact same again, but a little bit different. And this one is not optional. No, it doesn't exist. You get a fake one. I think I prefer the one at the top then. Then it's a file entry record for the provided file ID. Now, might also be interesting. File entry. String real path name. My music suddenly starts talking. Okay. The file content, if it is owned by file entry. Yeah, that's like, maybe you have luck, but sometimes you don't feel like it. Code. Yeah, if you write code, people write comments explaining this kind of stuff. You can't just do this, right? You just can't do that. The file content, if it is owned by the... How about explaining when it is owned by a file entry and in what cases it will be a null pointer or something like that? Oh, God forbid that the comment is longer than one line. They would have to type in an, for example. Too much work. Yeah, now I don't know if I even can use this. I don't like this. What is this? Get buffer data. Return a string reference to the source buffer data for the specified file ID. Yeah, how expensive is that? So can I copy the whole file? Yeah, so this is how we get the file ID from the source location that I have. But I only work with the main file ID, so it's probably kind of, well, I would still call it, but it's always going to be the same thing. Get expansion location. Get immediate expansion location. Range. Expansion range. Yeah, I switched to letting my subconscious doing this. God, my music starts talking again. Fuck off. Chances are that I now forgot everything. So, usually I do if I'm interrupted by something. That sucks. Get character data. Finally a character pointer. Return a pointer to the start of the specified location in the appropriate spelling memory buffer. Well, I think my scrolling paid off. I'm going to call this yes, let's call this. I mean, if this works, then that's exactly what I want. And then I have to test it. So let's see, where were we? This is the Lex source range thing. I want it to go to I don't know. Let's do a git diff. This one. Just do Q macro invocation maybe. I don't have a source location anymore there. Okay, yeah. Let's go there. Being the preprocessor events handler. Q macro invocation callbacks. Preprocessor events handler .h. Great, and then I'm going to paste my mouse buffer empty because, yep, I want to call that. With what? Gonna have a bool invalid. I don't know if I need it, but and we call that thing on the source manager. Dot, and how shall I call it? Trainer, whatever do it. Oh, my source location is what? So that should be the source location to whatever we are adding, basically where that offset comes from, right? That it comes from that location. Hey, the code compiles suddenly. And yeah, this be debug code. And then here I'll print it. Queuing. Like that. Queuing macro invocation. Something. And the something is just create a string view. Maybe I should create a string view immediately. Data is a bit of a lame word. Character data. just gonna make this a string view. Character data, and now I bet we can construct character data from a character pointer and a length. So I need a length here then. The length is obviously just the obviously. Oh no, we don't have that. The length. Oh my god, what is the length? Measure token length. That's exactly what we need. That's a macro name length. Okay, so that should work. Macro name token location, etc. No, tell me when it is invalid. Now I have no idea if it is going to work. At the very least there will not be any quotes around it. So I'm going to add those manually. Quote. You've undeclared ID. What? Source manager. It's a different function here, probably. Macro defined. Yep, totally different function. Possible. How the hell do I all these things without a source manager? I think that the translation unit is the only thing I have. That's how to get a source manager, apparently. Strange. Compile. And then I'll test it on this file. Just defines 4 macros, and then we use a bunch. All of them, I suppose. No, that works. It's printing it. It's amazing. Okay, lots stuff that we don't look at. And then we get Entering preprocessor events handler macro expand. So this is where the first macro is being expanded. And that is, as you can see, for 14.5, which is there. Second one is the first one. And yes, it is second one. And then we get second two, like I wrote in the description of the video. Because this is 14.13, what? Not 14.13. No, this one. 14.26, the location. And that is indeed second two. And then we get 14.13, which is third. It's here. And then finally we get the if, handling the if. So the order is completely wrong. Let's make this queuing the invocation of macro, blah blah blah. And reads better. Queue invocation of macro. That. I think I must store this in a map, right? Hotel. Make this is so slow. Yeah, at this point I have not even the file anymore, just an offset. I know it's a main file though, so I could also print it here, assuming that this is the offset into the main file. That would make more sense, right? So we enter this and then reprint what we are queuing. I think it might be a good oh boy, what's the word? Exercise? Comes close to what I wanted to say, I think. Hello, breast goat. Yeah, so I have, this is the translation unit, so we do have access to everything globally. thing was called file ID. So the translation unit does have the translation unit is the one that has the file ID, right? I mean, it's like literally one-on-one, same thing. Yeah, here, file ID. It's in the description, description of this video. I put all the time into it to write it, especially for you. So we have file ID, and I want to get, let's say, a buffer, and I also want to have a source manager, which I can do like that now. I'll do a redo. Let's get the source manager first. So now I want to get the buffer of that file ID, because yeah, I think we have to do that now. So it's slightly different than before. Of course, I forgot completely what that was named. I really seriously completely forgot it. Get diff. This get character data. That was it. Yep. Source manager get character data. Now that converts the source location into the file ID, which you already have, and the offset, which you also have. So we might as well copy this. Character data invalid. Get slog entry. So this is then what I need. I have the feeling. Now get slog entry is yeah, that's not what I wanted to know. Oh well, actually that is what I want to know. The question is if it is public or not. Looks very public. Could search upwards for public, but then yeah, then you'll find public. And it's totally public. That one was public, so this is still public. I'm gonna scroll up anyway. I want to see the public now. After I have scrolled this much already. Well, maybe I won't. I mean, I could stop. Or I could just search upwards for public and then do it again, searching for private, and then again searching for protected, and then do some calculation on a little bit piece of paper. But in the meantime, we found it. Public is the first one. Oh, they start public at the beginning. Okay, I could have searched up for the first line that does not start with a space. Holy moly, that was a lot. Yeah, the thing is public, so we can do this in our own code. Lazily page in a source file. That's why we don't do it. Okay. Just gonna copy all of this. Steal the code. And the log info first is then the file ID. And here the second is the offset. That is, oh, we just add the offset to the buffer start. Yeah, we want to get the buffer, and the buffer, we get the buffer with this. Beautiful. Except way more work than calling the get character data. And all that for debugging. Okay, we don't care about that. using a local variable that starts with an uppercase. Totally gives away that I stole this code. Const must be I want isConst or can't sleep. This here is the file ID. Hi, you wrong. If I get probably no, I don't pronounce it completely wrong. I know it, but thank you for saying that it is nice. I don't know about going strong, man. I tried to start coding today. Well, after I went to a chess tournament-ish. Played only 2 games, so it's hardly a tournament. I won both though. And then I came back and I sat behind my PC and I wanted to start coding and I just fell asleep. In my chair. So I had to sleep. I feel so old. I think I slept at least 2 hours. Bull. No, I'm not sleeping. I'm not feeling sleepy now. So my brain is still working at the moment. But it's pretty I can't find the word again. Curious, amazing, shocking, peculiar. That this brain shut off thing where I just fall asleep only happens when I'm programming. So apparently this is the most exhausting thing that my brain can do, programming. I should program while I lay in bed. So then I can't fall asleep. Okay, let's do this. You get this source location entry by calling the public function on the source manager with our file ID and some boolean, and then we say if that boolean is true or the entry that we got is not a file, then if invalid, what is invalid? Oh, that's yeah, we want to be able to set that, so there must be a yeah, no, maybe not. We just use then this as the result. Let's print that. That's a character. It's going to be a character const pointer anyway. Let's make that the default. So then we have to negate this. It was returning, right? So to put all of this inside that scope here. And now it's a default, but I have to negate this thing. So that would be a not and an end here. And then I get my buffer entry. I do have an entry. Yeah, I just got that. Get file, get content cache, get buffer or none. Diag. Seriously, what is diag? Probably the diagnostics. Get file manager. And an empty source location. I'm gonna do that this way. Get file manager is a function, right? Yeah, totally. File manager. I'm afraid this is also something that must be gotten from the source manager. Okay, nobody knows what diag is. I missed that one. Let's ignore that for now. If invalid is given, then invalid is set to, okay, so we don't have a buffer, then we remain invalid. So if buffer, then we do something. Oh, that's strange. They tested twice. Oh no, of course it was falling through. So we don't have to do this anymore. We can just, it buffers always through. Get rid of the invalid buffer. And then we don't return it, but I am signing finally my macro name string thingy. Yep. Lock info second in our case is the offset. So that would be the token offset. And then we can print it. Queuing, so invocation of macro. I think I was using quotes. Macro name string. So. Yes. I forgot, of course, what the name was that I stole this from. Maybe you can still find it. No. Should be somewhere in the source manager. Maybe that one. Nope. Damn it. Oh, there's no source manager, of course. Still no. No isconst. Const. Don't tell me they even do this. Yes, they do. This is in the source manager. Yeah, this one maybe. I don't know. One of these. Now we have 6 possibilities. Get line number. No, that was not the one. Ignoring swap file. The thing is already open. Get presumed location. Translate line call. Uh-oh. That would be sad. None of them is it. That's the one. Okay, and then we had a diag. Diag. I really don't see a diag, man. There's no diag here. What the hell is diag? Totally random out of nowhere. I think it's source manager itself must have a diag then. Yeah, there it is. Oh, that must be the diagnostics engine. Okay, yeah, we have to pass one. So a reference to a diagnostic engine. What are we doing? I want to just jump to the source manager header. Yeah, diagnostic engine. Could get it from the source manager maybe. Diag. Get diagnostics. I'm pretty sure I have it myself as well somewhere. Might as well call it on the. Okay, let's leave this. Go here. On the source manager, I was going to say. I feel the line is a little bit too long, even though it fits at the moment. Did you mean clang? It doesn't even ask me why. Oh, undeclared. And now it's gonna ask me, did you mean that? Well, no, but if you say so. And yeah, source location is in clang, I think. You don't see me, but I look good. Says this. There is nothing happening, though you don't see anything, and I say that looks good. As in, it seems to be compiling. Hey, I made a riddle. Did you mean? No, wait a minute. Yeah, I wanted to go to the same file because I'm wondering what the hell is this function accepting as one third thing. This has only two. 1, 2, 3. It's just a source location by value. It's just not my habit then to repeat type. I'm just gonna do this. It's a little less clear maybe, but also shorter. Got a notification from Reddit. And I couldn't read it. I'm kind of curious what was being said. I'm just curious. I want to see it. No, I can't do that. I'll read it later. Wow. I mean, no, wait a minute. The quote ends here. I thought it was printing the whole thing now, but it's just printing way too far. Prints till the end of the file. Why? I think I'm just passing the wrong length. So this one is correct. I want to print the second one here, and we are almost there, but I'm just not turning it into a string view. I'm not sure what I'm doing then. Yeah, it's just a character pointer. That's kind of not good. So okay, this can be removed, of course. Any other project makes ctext takes 0.1 second or less. So I want to make this a string view, and then we just reassign it, I suppose. String view. I'll go name string. And then here we have to reassign the string view. Yeah, I think I just have to reconstruct it. Putting the length in. Yeah, that will work. So what to do next? I was going to put this in a map. So we're going to have a standard map for, yeah, can put it in the translation unit, I think. So we're going to have a map which stores the stuff as function of token offset, right? I don't think they should be called more than once, and I'm going to check that. Yeah, if I don't check it, I can just use square brackets. But let's use insert, and I need a name for it. I'm just gonna call it macro invocation. Locations. It's not really a location anymore. Offset. Could call it offset. But it's the key. Just macro invocations. It's a bit lame, but might work. And do an insert. Now we have to insert both things. Could be lazy and just use a standard pair. Or I can make a quick struct. I'm going to use a pair, I think. Okay, let's make it a type. So this is a map, and the type of the map is this. That then has an info type, which is a pair, Is that info? I think it was info. And then in the pair we just store this. Oh, wait a minute, I need a key as well. Oh god, I don't know. Let me just look it up. Yep. Standard map. Insert. Oh yeah, of course. Just a value. Well, you must insert a value type. So not an something that where I can split it up a little bit and place probably. So the new element. Is not even clear this. But you have to call piecewise construct. I don't like that. I'll just construct value type then. So this thing does take a value type? No, you're not sure, right? It can be a lot of things. Well, this is better actually, because I don't want it anything. Well, it should never exist, so maybe. See, now you have the key separate. I like that. And the args is the arguments are then probably just arguments to construct the info type. Constructed with args. Example. This is for a map, it's 2 strings. Yeah, very good. Let's do that then. So that was try in place. Key. Okay, the key is the offset. And then token length token. Absolutely awesome. And this returns and standard pair iterator bool. And this is one of the very few things where I do use abbreviations. A standard pair of an iterator and a bool. I do abbreviated as auto IBP. So whenever I see IBP, I know that it is an iterator bool pair. So then we can insert that the key was new, so it did indeed get inserted. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. At least now it is stored. Oh, wait a minute, that's not it. I still have to add that one. That would be to the translation unit. Oh yeah, and this of course. No, wait a minute, that's not true. Highlight the wrong thing. This one. No. Something else. Blip. Where is my queue? Oh, all the way up there. Offset type, and then standard pair of size type and pp token. I think now it should compile. Well, it compiles and it prints it correctly indeed now. So we have now the callback is no longer really processed. I just queue it. Was second one, second two, third, in whatever order. And then we are going to process the if, which does pass a range, namely I think this is the range. So the range is from line 14.5, it's the beginning here, till 14.5. So yeah, I think it's just pointing to the same thing. But I think that the reason is that this is then, say, the file location of the expansion location. What is it called? So what this really points to is the token that is being spelled at the spelling location. So it points to the beginning is the thing that is written at 1437 and it ends at 113. So yeah, 1337, that's this thing here, the D. And what's the other one? 113 is the one here. So that's simply the expansion. This if you expand this, the first token is this D, which is not a macro, so it's just a little d. Because the second one swaps to the last thing is first, and the last thing of the second one is the second two, which also begins with a second argument. So the D is the first character of the whole expanded thing. And then it's going to end on the X, which is the X is the first argument of that thing. The first argument of that thing is the P, so that's simply the A. So I think that it should end with the token where the spelling location is at A, which is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 14, 19. Do we have the end? Don't see 14, 19 here. Oh. No, it's still 113. That's the end. That would be this foo, I guess. Oh, the end. Yeah. Well, yeah. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah. Second one has third as the first parameter, which is at the end. So the whole third comes at the end of this second one, and that ends on foo. So the spelling location is this one. There's no A or B though. But yeah, obviously we are not interested whatsoever in these lines. So I take the expansion location, and for both tokens, they originate from expanding second one. Therefore, begin and end are pointing to the S, the beginning here, to the S of the second one. Not sure if that is very useful. That's 14.5 here. This skipped here is not really skipped because we just don't know where the end is. So it shows whatever where we were. That's the last thing that was not added, all the way till the end of the file. So it's not really skipped. And then we are going to search. Maybe you can suppress skipped if there's a fixed string given. It's doing is it just searches for the first hash here, which is then the if. I think this is confusing. Let's change that. Yeah, maybe this gap starts at offset. I meant gap starts at offset. And then the length of the gap is still the end of the file. But yeah, I might as well print it. Or could explicitly only print the gap until the hashtag. And then I can call it skipped again. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Maybe a bit far-fetched-ish, but and then I'm cheating, right? I should just print the gap text. Yeah, anyway, it's more complex than that. Let's just print skipped from offset the way it was. If def cw got type. Yeah, this just scans one character at a time. So I don't look at it anymore. And this is this could be moved up. Totally. String. No, yes, maybe. I can just search for it like that. Finds the first substring equal to the character string pointed to by S. The length of the string is determined the first null character. So that's what we should use. What it does search in is then just it searches in a standard string, and I have a string view. Ah, come on, string view can do that too. I hope. And then we just look for the fixed string. As can pass a character pointer. And the second one is 0, so that starts at position 0. And that must find it. probably not quite reasonable to crash here if it doesn't contain the fixed string. I don't know, someone could probably maybe type in code that is just so horrible that it's going to search for a hashtag in this case that does not exist. I'm not sure. And then, yeah, a C++ formatter that is trying to format code that is just cannot be compiled. It should bail gracefully, I suppose, instead of just crash. But, yeah. For now, let's do the assert and then still have to check if the standards of the string view has a find as well. It should, right. Remove prefix, font, compare, find. Yep, this one. And also returns a size type. Does it return? Do we have an end pos here in the string view as well? Impulse, yes. Kinda makes sense to compare it with the string view input. I suspect I have the same value, -1, but okay. Size type not going to work. Let me just make that size t, or shall I go all the way and call it the standard string view size type? And then because that's so long, we make it auto. So is it reasonable? Or is it the thing is just defined as or is it standard size type? And I think that size type without the std in front of it is also pretty much guaranteed to be just exactly that thing. I'm going to do what I usually do, I think. I'm just going to do size type. Okay, so now I have the position pointing to the first thingy, and then I want to print that as to the debug channel notice. Skipped, a bit lame maybe. Quad, really? I'm not going to repeat that, of course. Continued. CF stands for control flag. Yeah, another abbreviation. Ja, substring en string view. That's just from and then the length. Yeah, I want to use 0 as the start. And then the length is basically just pos. If pos is 0, then it points at the first element, which means that I don't want to print anything. Well, actually, I want to include fixed string. So I can add the length of the fixed string to it. That would work. Got to see the fixed string as well. And then, yeah, after that there is more. So maybe I should print that as well, like dot 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 or something. Just without a space even. Oops, did you finished? Yeah, I should not have used finished inside it. That was stupid. This is continued. I can only have one finish. Oops. Is it Vortex says, is it possible to statically compile Cairo application? Completely static, everything, including libc and libc++ and standard C++. Yeah, everything is possible. I wouldn't recommend it or do it. If you're on Linux anyway, then why would you want to do that? Just dump Windows, install Linux, and have no problems anymore with shared libraries. So we have an example then. We entering translation unit process gap till the next hash. And then it says skipped text. Well, new line, I guess. I'm not sure. I want to print it like that. I mean, this is like the literal text. No. Sorry. You might find it more readable, but I think I have to use the buff to string. Buff to string. There's always 0 terminated. That would be stupid. I think it is actually. Yeah. Yeah. I had to use something else. So I want to escape this. I want to do something like I don't know, but I used it before. I thought. Escape. Print C escaped. Okay, getting there. Oh yeah, of course. Well, I'm glad that I even remembered that I did this, otherwise I would have done all this work again. But I had, for the rest I had completely forgotten how or what or anything. It's just like a week ago or something that I did this. So apparently I made a print C escaped. I can use that now then here to, oh, not that one. No. Seriously, no, I lost the file again, what I was working on. Translation unit. It was translation unit, but not line 121. Let's try for a Q. Yay. So I want to print. No, DC finished. It was something in this neighborhood here. Yeah. I want to print this string view. C escapes. Which is in namespace utils. What is utils debug hosting pad? Yeah, I'll put utils on front of it then. And maybe you have to include it then the header. Added that to utils, really? It's a utils debug hosting pad. Might already have that. I don't know. Let me just add this here. Ah, it's up there. Already. Okay, never mind. Does my program depend on GTK? No. I have a whole project that uses a Cairo a lot. Not do that. Yes, what Okay, now it prints it nicely. Like that. So you just get to see till the hashtag that it is searching for. And then, yeah, it goes on, but whatever, we are gonna stop here anyway. So I am lexing the subrange. And I suppose I'm just using the 14.5. And it finds the one token there, which is shown as a raw identifier. So not interested in that. That's my macro. We have to call the delayed macro invocation. That belongs to 14.5. That would be this one, second one. So this thing that is queued for this offset, 436. And yeah, that's where we are now. It was 435 plus one space. So the call to process gap already runs into the second one at the same offset as we queued. So they're not really necessary, I think, to process this this range that is being passed here. This one, this call. On the other hand, you could say we have the same offset here as well, maybe? Except I don't have the length. I think this points, basically this points to tokens that are the result of expanding the macro. It's just too far from home. Let me think. Not that it's doing a lot, I think it's just printing it. I didn't know what to do with it anyway. See, I start a loop to find the tokens in that range and then print them and don't do anything with it. So might as well skip this whole function. Okay, and then to finish the description, let me read the description again that I wrote. So I wrote, it turns out libclang is buggy, the macro expansion callbacks are not in correct order. I looked at clang itself, but the mess is larger than at first expected. Blah 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 blah. So I decided not to fix clang. Instead we do this. Example. What I will do, put all macro invocation callbacks in the standard map. We did that, sorted by the offsets in the main file, and only process them when we are processing the gaps. Okay, so that's what I have to do now then. That means that all three invocation locations in the macro stored locations of the macros are stored. Then we process the if, then the first token after this directive condition will reveal the gap. In this case, that would be the end if, I think. Yeah. So during this end if, we see that the gap is this. And here's the end if. And that includes the macros and then a new line and then a C++ comment and another C++ comment and then the end if. And here in front of the here nog space. So the space is processed, added, and then we run into the macro. And that is inside process gap. Wait a minute, no, that's just a single thing. This process gap, I think, yeah. So instead of getting super confused about, oh no, it's not a space, I could say, it's not a space. Do we have a macro at this position? And then yes, and then we call do the callback, which then is going to process this thing. And then I have to start over, I think. This then sets a boolean indicating that we found a function like macro, which means that again process gap itself now expects a parenthesis open, and then it's going to scan the parenthesis, look for the closing parenthesis that belongs to that, and then iteratively do everything else, and then it should eat that, and then eat that, and eat everything, and it should work. Yay. Very, very scary. Let's see how many process gaps I have that do the difficult stuff. Only one, I hope. In terms of avoiding code duplication, right? That looks like the implementation. Yeah, so we have to restart then at this point as soon as that boolean is set, which then makes me wonder where it is set, of course. Not even in this file. Well, Okay, let's skip it for now. So yeah, we're scanning for any, I guess. And then guess we get here. So at this point I should check if the current position is a macro that we queued. Yeah, that should be the lowest offset. And that's the first one we run into. So that must be this one. And that is an iterator to value, I think. So value pair, iterators are two value pairs, right? So second is the info pair. Well, actually that is a pair then. And no, and we just need the key. So that would be first, and that is the key then. So this is the offset. If that's equal to the current offset, then we found a macro thingy. Otherwise, there's also an error. So might as well combine these two. What is the current offset? We have a last offset. The gib start is an offset. So probably it is gap start plus I. That is the current offset. That is the offset of the C. So I'm testing C, right? Yeah, we are testing C. And then if C is nothing, then it must be that offset. So gap start plus I. Then we found it. So we found something. So we have to add it, I think. Oh boy, not sure if I can do that from here. Actually, yeah, probably, maybe. No, I should just do a callback. No, I should just, sorry, I should just add. That's the only thing. The callback just did nothing else than added. So we do something like add input token, which happens to be a member function of our current object, the translation units. And then you have to pass the offset. And the length. Nah, let's make a reference first. Although there is not much to reference, right? It's just a standard pair, or you just, I don't know. I should always make, if you have a class with a standard map as a member, then you should define a type for it. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do now then. So I added this map, I just need a using here. Copy invocations type is this map. Guess a map does not have a front, right? I mean, really? I wouldn't know. I have no memory anymore. Let's look up the map again. I don't see a front. Most containers have a front and a back, but yeah, this thing is even sorted. But it's a different front, I guess. So I just use the begin, which is basically the same thing as the front, but then as an iterator. Okay, add input token. It is so weird that it doesn't take this one. You must call this one. Process gap is true. Do you want to process the gap? Yeah, no. Well, that isn't a gap, so might as well pass false. But on the other hand, token. Find that implementation there. So template should be in this file. Here it is. If process gap, call process gap. Yeah, we don't need to do that because it's empty. So we call this with false at the end. Yeah, well, value first is the offset, right? And then we get a length, which is also stored here. So that would be value dot seconds, and that is a pair containing, I think the offset is the first element, and then the second is the token, and then we do false. So this now calls well, it does not call this one. Therefore, this is not going to be set. Duh. I could also add it to the end of this function. Well, let's just do that. So now we have it. Now we call it from two places. Okay, so we do now call this function, which then just adds a macro name and then sets this boolean. And now the boolean is set here. So now we should well, not have an error, obviously, but we're also done. Done as in finding, say, the fixed string. Is a fixed string, and this is true, and the length is 1, then we find it, and what we should do is just return the result. Which is, do we have to return something? Oh boy, well, maybe you can just return. Maybe you can just return. And let the magic do the rest. I'm gonna try that, see what happens. It would be nice if it would work. I doubt it. Is it gonna work? Nah. No, it's not gonna work. No, the fixed string is something else. You have to eat the whole thing, except when we are looking for a fixed string. So this call you have to start over this call. Now we did eat something and you have to start it over. I guess this is also changed. I can just do a recursive call, but no bots. This is also good enough. Yeah, okay, so to redo. Return add input token. What am I doing? Process gap. Current offset. Yeah. Just call the thing again. I think everything is updated. So we try again with the same value, everything. It's magic. Magic. Well, not good enough magic because no member named kind in clang token. Oh, right. That is just token then. Wait a minute. Token. Yeah. If const expression standard is same as token. Oh, it's not the same as, just the same. The same as this same. Token. Yeah, this is a template, but you have two of them. One for token being this and one for token being the other. So just two separate functions, really. And then the invocation were the instantiation, I mean, where token is equal to pp token, and then and only then we can make this comparison. Where token is simply a pp token, so we can compare it directly. Or not. No, I just did stupid things like forgetting closing points, closing angle bracket. And I did more stupid things because, what is this? Invalid operands to pp token to be I'll have to get a kind. I still have to get a kind in from it. Kind, yeah, kind, okay. So we need to get this kind here, which is public. Oh, that's, I thought I had to delete it, apparently not. think it was just complaining during the instantiation of the other template, but the type did not have a kind. Go, go, go. Da, 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 da. Yeah, there it is. That is fucking magic, indeed. If it worked, it's what? Nah, it's impossible that this worked, right? It's too short also. Let's see what happened. We reach the if, and then we look for the hashtag of the if, which is just found. That is no problem. Adding the if. And then we get a white space, and then we add the function name, which is what I just added, and the rest is magic. Process here. The thing is, so we call this recursively, which now has the boolean set, so it's totally happy with this opening parenthesis, which is then added. And then it also, well, now it's going to look for white space again, so it is a gap, process gap, which then finds the next. This is impossible, because I didn't remove the first one. How is it finding third? Oh, no. Ah, that shouldn't happen. I never deleted this from the map, so begin is still pointing here. So confused. Maybe it's doing it from a different location in the code. But it does work, right? Function, macro, invocation, arg. Oh, the whole thing is treated as the argument. Okay, so I'm not seeing that this is a macro. That's bad, that's too bad. And then we get a comma. Process gap, skipped from adding white space after the comma. And then this is added as an argument again, yeah. So no magic. Well, magic in the sense that it does start processing the arguments, but closing parentheses, and then eats everything. The rest just is white space and C++ comments, two of them. And oops, because we did have a fixed string. So recursively calling process gap without passing fixed string. That's not what you want to do. Yeah, I suppose I can just pass that as well. Should do that. Theoretically, that should work. Now I think about it, if I say one of these macros passes a string which has an hashtag in it, then this skipped is not working, because I'm just doing a dumb search for the fixed string. But in the end, it would still work. Let's add it anyway. Foo.cpp. So let's turn this into a string with a hash in it. I'm gonna add another one here. Why not? And hash inside it. Comment. Well, that looks like no problem. That's, oh, it is, no. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, this is where it went wrong. So it is print still the first hash, even though that's part of a string. Yeah, I'm not going to fix that. It's just debug output. Yeah, this still works. See, it's kind of stupid. It's really adding it like literally, without even attempting to see that this is a comment. Maybe I want it. I'm not sure. I can of course see that we have a macro invocation in this. So yeah, I can add a macro name here, and then if you start processing, then we get again the comments. Sorry, the arguments, which will see the comment. Yeah, we can do that, I think. Okay, so for now, I have to begin with doing the recursive call, including the fixed string, and remove the first argument after we found it. So this is in, I think I'll say, other file, this file, probably Q. Yeah, there's the recursive call. Grep sources. Who needs an IDE? If you have a mouse. Yeah, that's one thing, and the other thing is, of course, I have to erase the first one. How do you do that? Erase begin. It's a bit lame. So they're not just maybe you work with an iterator. Font, yeah, there you go. If front is unequal end, but empty will work as well, then front first. Yeah, this way it looks better. Maybe if I just replace this to front is unequal end. I think this should work. So I erase it. Okay. So. I missed your question. What program languages do you suggest for a beginner to program in Linux? I only know C and C++. Well, I know Bash, yeah. So, but I don't know. I think you just have to be motivated by to learn something, and be motivated by something that you want to do, and that will probably also tell you the language. Yeah, but I don't know. Obviously, I would say C++, but I'm a bit hesitant. For a beginner, a really absolute beginner, like never programmed before, it's kind of a... Yeah, you must be... See, if you're a gifted person with a very good memory and you just absorb everything and you want to become a good coder, then why not begin immediately with C++? But yeah, you can also start in BASIC, like I did, or C code. Just don't think that C code and C++ are the same thing. Or Python, maybe. Python is a good language to know. The only thing I'm afraid of is that if you begin with Python, then you will probably never learn C++. You might as well start with Rust also, because I guess maybe it's actually going to become popular. I don't think it will replace C++. What a nice colors here. Wow. And this is interesting. It's not allowed to do this. You cannot have a hashtag even though it is a string. Or is it because after expanding it, it doesn't work? Yeah, we're ignoring the arrows anyway. It was just for the heck of it. I guess you'd stop because I don't see where we are. It's fucking finished completely. Seriously. Okay, we found the end if. Prints that we skipped. That is the directive conditional until the first hash, which happens to be in a string. And then white space, followed by the macro invocation, second one, which then get the parenthesis and the first argument and a comma and another white space. And the second argument, including a C comment and all. And the closing parenthesis. And now we do... No, we already did that. Where is my recursive call? Oh, here. Yeah, this is the recursive call. The recursive call is going to process everything, right? Yeah, so we get also the C++ comments, both. And then it's done. After which we found our hash and the end if, and then yeah, another white space, a new line, and we're done. So the only thing to do next is if I want to recursively also unpack these macros, as in macro, expanding macros as a part of macro arguments. A function like macros have arguments, and those can contain macros as well. If I do that as well before I go to bed, and I did so much, it's unbelievable. So maybe I should just stop here. Well, I think I kind of finished whatever I wrote in the description of the video. And I feel like playing chess, and it's already 1 AM, so everything combined. Let me play a game. Or I can analyze my game. I played chess tournament today. Let me see. Yes. Against someone called Tom. Did you already start this? Well, now I did. I'll play this one first. And then I analyze my over the board tournament thingy. Okay. Funny. This is funny because I'm going to lose. I always hold on onto those pawns, and then it's going to be horrible. Well, usually anyway. People sacrificing a lot of pawns for development like this. I'll get a check, and then I put my knight there, and then I get a chance to take here afterwards. Let's just do that. The more pieces of the board, the better. Oh shit, he has a check here as well. I can still do this, more or less. Really scary. No, this guy is not playing bad. Okay, I'm going to take here. Probably have to anyway, eventually. Can I do this? Trying to create a safe place for my king. Now I can castle. That was dubious, I think. It helped me develop my knight. Okay, is that a weak point? Just take here, not defend it, and then we get a knight there. The queen is kind of far away. Or the queen could go here maybe. Yeah, I have to admit it's a bit scary. See, although the two bishops are aimed at my king. Well, I should still lose this, definitely. Yeah, it's amazing but true. I mean, not that I lose, but that you just can't take those pawns in the beginning. It's, I'm just always amazed that people manage to actually win then. Ew, that's careful. Okay, let's see if I can do that. Well, now I can take back with this knight, which then defends h2 again. Hello, MD explains. C++ graphics library, like Cairo, or what is it doing? Is it 3D? I'm not sure if it makes sense to work on your own graphic library, you know. It's incredibly difficult, and two, they already exist. Can go here. Can I not? I would come in here and take this pawn. But then I can play the knight over there, and then if he takes, I can still take with my queen. Oh. Let me try this. (2D). But do you mean Cairo? Cairo window? Sorry, the Cairo library thing. Cairo is very good, I think. So why not use that then? Let's exchange everything. Everything. Okay, I'm losing a pawn. I'm giving a back a pawn. Wait a minute, I was going to do this. I can do that. Now the queen comes here? No. And this attacks my... Oh, no, it's still defended as well. Everything is defended. I'm just exchanging everything. Oh my god, if I exchange the queens, I'm winning. No, I think I'm better now, right? I mean, the attack of this guy just failed. Like, big time failed. Okay, my rook has to go here, which means I want to defend. My queen must go. I want to defend that square. Why not also defend this? I don't want to move that one. Maybe I just have to move back though. So I can take like that. Also defends this pawn now. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck me. Why? So stupid. What can he take? This. So a king goes there, and has to. And if he takes, I take back. I'm not feeling super happy about it though. If I do that, I get to check here. Maybe I should just go here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go away. Yeah, that was stupid. I think it was not necessary. I don't know when you set the knight to f1, but it's not possible right now. Double attack. Well, the libclang is a 2D graphics library, which is very good. So you're completely reinventing the wheel, while you should use libclang. Can go here and then it threatens to do that maybe. Although that's not check. I can develop my hook. I'm only +1. I thought I was starting with taking 3 pawns. Well, I lost 1, so I was +2. And I gave 1 back. Yep, he's threatening that one, so I'm gonna go here. I'm threatened to take the rook anyway. Can take another pawn now. Check, I put the knight in between. I hadn't even considered this check. I'm starting to run out of time. Or maybe I should just go away. No, that would be mate in 1. So it's gonna do this, I put my knight in between. Then he does not have a check. Queen defends that one. Threatening mate again. Well, not really. The queen can go back, but that would be a major exchange. Then I should be winning with my extra pawn. Oh, this extra pawn? Oh. Yeah. You could take the pawn now? Theoretically, I think. You can take the pawn. Yeah. Bishop takes pawn. Definitely the best move. He's not wanting to do it. Okay. Go away. It's not really saving my pawn because now you can take it like that. But I get this one unless he takes it and then I defend it again. And I'm winning on time anyway. I'm so winning on time. You can defend it, the queen here or there, but go and put my rook here, attack that one. Can give check. I think I'll just put my queen in front of it or something. I would still want to exchange this. Now there's no check anymore. Trying to take here, the queen could go 1 back as he really does not want to exchange it. Oh, finally he does exchange. That pawn comes, obviously. And then we start walking with the free pawn, because it's a free pawn. Shall I just move forward with my king as well? What do you think? We take, give check, and I lose it. Let's not do that. It's kind of annoying. He takes here, I have to move my rook. Let's move the rook immediately. I don't know, that wasn't probably not the best move, right? If I exchange here, then I'm outside of the square. This is just bad. Ha 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 ha, I'm behind my pawn. And a-hole is... that would be almost made. I'm gonna go here. He's going to stop me, right? I am losing on time. Oh shit. I'm making stupid mistakes. I have no time left. I'm totally happy with the draw. Maybe that one was better. Maybe it doesn't matter. We'll never know, I guess, because he's running out of time. Well, no, he's not. Okay, we'll do this one. What? That's not possible. What a blunder. Yeah. What shall we say about it? Oh yeah, I was going to analyze my game. So analyze game, tools, analyze board. Full power. I had black. Well, the game that I wrote down anyway. So this played this in real life over the board, and I played black. So can we switch this somehow? Flipboard. And my opponent started with d4. So I was out of theory. No, actually I was not out of theory yet. I know this one, which is actually the best move. Bishop f4. Yeah, now I was out of theory. No clue. So I played e6 because I don't know. I don't know. Was it a good move? One of the lesser moves. Yeah, 0.1 down. Then my opponent played e3. Totally draw, right? I mean, b6. I don't know why I did do that. I should have played that apparently. Yeah, this thing doesn't even have an arrow. 0.3 down. Bishop e2. Very careful guy. What should he have done then? To c3. Why? Mysterious moves. Yeah, just wait long enough and the move becomes the best move. That's what I did. Bishop f3. That's a weird move, of course. I think he was hoping I would take it. But no, I went to the toilet and looked on my phone and I played the best computer move. Not really, but I played d5. Knight d2. The guy played knight d2. That's also not the best move. Black's better. And then I did again not the best computer move, of course. It's so low. It's not a Grandmaster game. Oh wait, it isn't a Grandmaster game. But it's still a drawish. Knight h3. Why? Hello dude, does this person look at their chat or read? Well, I'm playing chess, so I'm not looking very much at the chats. You wanna play one-on-one chess? Well, if you challenge me, team me SB on live chess, then I'll accept it. Wait, they played 8 on... Actually, I'm not playing chess. I'm playing my over-the-board game, analyzing my over-the-board game. c5. That's what I did. Oh, that's the best move. Yeah, in this case, I was like... I mean, I know this. You know, like we did. My bishop is undeveloped and is looking at that square. My knight is looking at the square, and the rook could go behind it eventually. And... this pawn is blocked and looking at that square. Then it's not a bad move to go there. So that's why I did it. And now my opponent played c3. He was like, let's put all the pawns on black. And I played h6. I don't know why. Why did I play h6? I think I had a plan with push, and then have a fork or something. Not that that would work, because the queen is also on. It's just a nonsense move. g4 immediately. Wow. Not a good move, apparently. Now I'm up half a pawn. Could you try my game out? Your game? What do you mean? Rook c8. Yeah, I should give comments and stuff, but I just completely forgot why I did any moves. So I'm just looking at disastrous results, and so far everything is more or less around 0. So apparently we played bad, but not blunder. After my rook, he played a knight b3. That doesn't look good. No. It's 0.4 worse than this was possible. Now, yeah, I was already considering pushing it. Of course, I rather had that he would take, so I could develop my bishop. But apparently that's not going to happen. And now the knight is here. I thought, let's just push it, because then the bishop looks at that square. So I can start pushing here, and eventually loads of space on this queen side here. But the computer doesn't even consider it. So I'm minus 0.8 if I put my knight there. Nope. 0.54. Not too bad. It just goes back. And I come b4. a3. I played a4. I don't think so. Let's make this a 5. A5. Okay, g5 it says. No, I did that move. Still nothing, right? And I played. This is cozy. Challenges you. Okay, yeah. I'll accept it. This game is 30 moves long, so we are halfway. Knight e4. G takes h6. Took here. So at least no serious blunders. Still. G5. That was apparently not a very good move. I lost my half-point advantage. Actually, I thought if he takes the knight, that's not possible, because then I take back, and then 2 pieces are attacked. Now, of course, you can take here with attack on my queen, but then just push this pawn, and again 2 pieces are attacked. Hey, I remember something from the game. So. But apparently this is the best move, so I'm confused. I would do that, and then he would that, and then I would do that. That was my idea. Oh, yeah, I missed that one. Yeah, so 2 pieces are attacked, but this one could go away with the attack on the queen, and now this one can go away with the attack on the king, and then that one doesn't even have to go away, apparently. What would happen if I take it? Oh, I'm losing here. Interesting. How am I losing? Oh, the rook. Okay. Yeah. No, so yeah, okay. So good for me that he took with the bishop instead of with the knight. No, -1. Okay, where are we? I played g5 or something. Yep. Bishop takes. G takes f4. That's what I did. Yeah. Bishop g2. -1.5. Now it's going somewhere. F takes e3. F takes e3. Knight f3. Bishop takes h6. At least I'm not giving away my advantage. F takes e3. Queen f6. Queen e2. King e7. Rook f1. Queen g6. Queen f2. That's already -2. And I played not the best move, apparently. Yeah, I could attack that one. I went all the way here. Down. 1.5 points down. Knight e5. That is the best move, okay. Obviously I took it. Wait, did I? Knight went to e5. No, I didn't take it. I took here. Oh, I'm losing? What? No. Yeah, that's why I did not do that. I think I must have taken it. Knight e5. Yeah, knight e5, yeah. And that is still good for me, but he didn't even take that one. I took it like that. And now I'm winning. Weird. Okay. Bishop takes king e2. Bishop back. Not the best move. Rook f6. Also not the best move. Check it. f3. That was a bad move. That was a really bad move. Like d4. g3. Check. King e3. Bishop h6 check. Knight g5. Bishop takes g2 and he gave up. -6. Okay, stop this. Bling. Casual. Well, I hope it's not going to take all night. I'm not sure I'm super happy with playing without a clock. It's 1:30 here, in the middle in the night, and you're not moving at the first move. Let's play a 5-minute game or something like that. Oh yeah, it takes too long. Can I challenge you for something like challenge to a game? No, I'm thinking you left or something. Yeah, I told you, I mean, I'm analyzing my game. Why would I not finish it? Told you it was 30 moves. I went very fast through it. I don't feel like I was obliged to take your game. So, I don't know. I don't know where you are, but it's very late here. So, I just go to bed because it's very late and stuff. Yeah, sorry. Good night.